Hi there. Okay, so it is day 8 after the surgery, the microdiscectomy, and I'm checking back in to report, where I'm at and what's happened over the last 7 days. It's, you know, in the balance, it's all positive, and it's been an interesting week, and I've made some really nice progression. I think it might be helpful for people going through this to know what to expect. So I'll give my kind of history of the last 8 days and what I experienced, and it may help you through your post-op experience. As of today, I'm up walking around. I did 2 30-minute walks. The post-op recommendation was that really week 2 you should be doing 20 minutes of walking a day. I felt up to it, taking it very slow in terms of the pace, but I was able to get back to more like a normal stride when I'm walking. Up until today or maybe yesterday, I was able to do a little bit of a normal stride, but prior to that I was doing sort of the old man shuffle, just taking really small baby steps was all I could really handle. With what I was feeling in my back. But today I was able to do more of a full stride, so that's really positive. One helpful thing that I think is important if you can do it is I have had a nurse come to the house. Today was her 3rd day. She came on day 2 to change the dressing over the incision, and then she came. I was operated on a Wednesday. She came on a Friday, then she came on a Monday, and changed the dressing again, and then came the following, today, Thursday. Today has been 8 days, and she took the dressing off, so now it's open to the air. It's got what are called, I think, steri strips over the wound, which are strips that run horizontal or at 90 degrees to the incision, and they pretty much hold it in place, kind of like a clear piece of tape, thin strips that go across, and those are still on there, but otherwise the wound is open to the air now. It feels like it's well healed, whereas before when I was moving around I could feel the depth of the incision. Now it really feels like more of a surface wound. And I think one of the key things one of the reasons I had the nurse come was just to watch over it. In some of the reading I had done, really one of the most important parts of post-op is not just avoiding any bending, lifting, or twisting, but also making sure that the wound heals without getting infected. And given your situation, it's around on your back. It's not something you can get to yourself. And if you can have someone look after it for you, that's going to be really important. Some other things on the post-op side that I didn't really expect that I experienced, they give you a 2-pager. You have a 2-week follow-up appointment with the doctor, but really in between you're operating off of a piece of paper they give you on what to do, what not to do in the course of those 14 days. And one of the key things, I haven't really seen anybody mention it on the video blogs, is the effect of the narcotics on your intestines. Basically, the narcotics dry you out. They give you cotton mouth. They sent me home with Percocet, which I understand is a pretty strong narcotic for home use. It's been positive for me. I've had pretty much a good experience with it. Although my family might say I'm a little irritable here and there, which is to be expected. But one of the things that it does for me is it definitely blocks the pain, which I think is a key part of the healing process. When there's pain, I think it slows the healing down. So, but in any event, in taking that, a lot of the medications that are running through you, especially the narcotics, will affect your intestines. They'll make you constipated, and that's something that they had talked about really on the day after surgery, and they want you to start taking stool softeners and everything. And I really didn't start that until Friday, 2 days after the operation, and so Saturday was I was pretty uncomfortable, and it wasn't really until Sunday that I had everything worked out. I was also a little stressed out on Friday. I started getting back on email related to work, and had some things that stressed me out. And so the visit from the nurse was good on Friday as well. She kind of reiterated, you really need to be resting. She says, I want you lying down as much as possible. You definitely want to get up and do your 10-minute walk each day, or you can move around the house. But for the most part, you want to be on your back. And when you take that medication, it's going to mellow you out, let you, take that opportunity when you're feeling good to sleep, to get some rest and let your body heal. So by Sunday, I was back on that track. Family was at home, was able to snooze a little bit, and went into the week feeling rested, and then just continued that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and each day I felt like I made really big strides in the healing process. And on Saturday, in addition to my intestines really feeling bloated and being in a fair amount of pain, given that I hadn't had a bowel movement since I guess it was really Tuesday, and now it was Saturday. In addition to that, not being able to eat and everything, I had I lost my train of thought. What else did I experience on Saturday? I guess I'd also stopped taking the pain medication because of the side effects, and and when we started to feel some pain, and all that. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So on Saturday was the first day, day 3, I started to experience this sciatica that they talk about. So inevitably, in all the videos I've seen, and even the doctor says, look, don't be surprised if you start to experience some similar sciatic pain to what you had prior to the surgery. So, really Wednesday, Thursday, after the surgery, the numbness was gone, the pain was completely gone, but on Saturday it returned, and that was a pretty big disappointment. Even though I knew to expect it, it just had me concerned. And as it settled in and I realized what was going on, it's inevitable that nerve has been irritated, and it's gone through the surgery, and inevitably there's going to be probably some inflammation that goes on as you start to get the steroids wear off, and you start to move around a little bit. You're going to experience some inflammation in that area again, and then it's going to reactivate the sciatic pain wherever you were experiencing it prior to the surgery. So I'm happy to say that as I moved through each day and used the Percocet properly and got some naps in and a good night's sleep each night, that every day I woke up feeling a little bit better. And so that sciatic pain is still there. It moves around a little bit. It absolutely changes. Every day I'm walking further than the day before. So, I take it slow. I take the stride slow. If I feel pain, I stop and stand in place, let it pass, and then move again. And so it's just something I realize is going to be there until it works itself out. Ultimately, I'm only 8 days out of the surgery. So overall, it's been kind of a little bit of a crooked line, but been extremely positive. And I think when you're going through the post-op, like I said, basically you're sent home. You try to follow the instructions. You're going to experience different things, probably, how you react to the pain medication, and how you react to whatever's happening for you specifically relative to what your original injury was. But overall, I'm feeling really good about everything that's going on so far. I've got good food in the house, and one thing that you should know is you're not going to be driving for 2 weeks. If you're following the doctor's orders, which is absolutely key. I ended up getting in the car on Sunday and seeing if I can go out to breakfast with my family, and we got basically around the block, and I said, this is not the right place for me to be. It felt like I was kind of bouncing around, and I needed to get back home to where I could be in one place. So again, just taking baby steps, and I'm feeling really good about everything so far. And again, the more I look on the internet, the more I see that this is really becoming more and more a common procedure. There's a lot of people out there walking around with back pain, and if surgery is the appropriate measure to take, it's something that I think makes a lot of sense to do. So I'll keep checking back in and giving the updates.